The latest news just in that sugar is really good for you. Eat lots of it, and guess what? You'll be healthy, you'll be happy, and you'll be less prone to violent behavior. True story. Reading the news today, and it's all there in its glory. I'm John Spade. This is The Egg for November 26, 2011. And I'm at a loss to explain media and the messages that are put out on a daily basis. Almost like putting out information just for the sake of putting out information, not worrying about whether it's factual or complete or that it even makes a modicum of sense. Interesting times in the world right now. On Sunday, the Americans are scheduled to arrive in the Korean Peninsula. The South Koreans, of course, are pretty happy about this because North Korea's been bad. And they need to sort of raise the military presence. Now, of course, the Americans are saying this drill that they're going to be doing was planned months ago. And it's just unfortunate timing. Now, if it was planned months ago, considering the nature of where the North and South Koreans are today, you think maybe they would postpone these drills? I'm just throwing it out there. They're going ahead. They're going to end up in the waters there. They're going to continue with these drills. North Korea really feels that it's a slap in the face, and it is a precursor to an imminent war. Now, it's one of those things where I don't want to be completely alarmist, but if you go, my local paper here in the Herald, you're reading it, and the story is parked way down the page. It's not at the top, because I'll tell you what's at the top of everybody's mind today is that it's Black Friday. It's a big day in retail. And here's the deal. I mean, honestly, for the wheels to keep turning, we need people to go out and shop. Now, if everybody's mind is on the idea of war and that potentially we could be stepping into a new era where World War III is a very distinct possibility, are you going to go shopping? No. So does the media have a responsibility to make sure that you go to the mall? It would appear that way if you look at all the various news articles that are out there. Now, that's sort of what got me thinking about today's egg and what I was going to talk about. The study that I read about sugar being really good for you, and it's a very in-depth. Hey, we did a study, man. You guys need to eat sugar and more of it. Forget the fact that obesity rates are through the roof in North America, and with that, diabetes is also going up. You should eat sugar, man, because it's going to make you feel happy. Sunshine, exercise, good food will make you happy. Eating sugar and more of it is a cocktail for disaster. They know that. The only thing I can think of is the sugar industry is, their profits are declining. We already know the sugar industry is a pretty powerful group. They do some pretty amazing lobbying with the government to ensure that, they keep their place in commerce. Anyways, I don't want to get into ideas of, tinfoil hats and all that, conspiracies. If you read the article, I don't know, it's probably going to run in all the papers, and they might even talk about it on television. You have to get to the very bottom of the article before you realize that, eating candy isn't going to be the answer. What they're suggesting is that there are glucoses that you can get that are good for you, but you know what? Those, they suggest it might be a healthier idea if you get them from pastas and cereals and breads, more natural food sources than stuffing gummy bears in your mouth. So it's the responsibility of journalism, and how responsible do they need to be, and where does it end? And do they have a responsibility to keep the economy going versus actually reporting the news. And that's sort of where I'm at today. It's like there's some pretty significant things happening in the world in regards to Afghanistan, North South Korea, China, how they play into the whole thing, because right now they're taking a very neutral stance on North Korea's actions, and of course there's political reasons for this, considering the relationship that they have, and yet it's Black Friday. It's sort of like 2 days ago I was talking about the fact that this whole thing is starting to escalate, and the top of the news was Jennifer Grey winning Dancing with the Stars. Do we need to know? And are the powers that be protecting us from ourselves? Time will tell. Like I said, I don't want to be alarmist about this. Maybe it'll just go away, and the Americans will do their drills and go back home, and everybody will be better for it. Of course, everybody was supposed to pull out of Afghanistan by the end of this year, and now they've guaranteed themselves to 2014 because, again, let's be clear. The Americas, United States, they need what they're now calling permanent war. It's what drives their economy, and they employ a lot of people this way, soldiers, and of course everybody else down the chain that supplies everything from ammunition to uniforms to food rations. So if you took war away from the United States, what would they have? Again, I've touched on this already, so I'm not going to touch on it too much. Let's actually switch over, because I want to talk about animals. I'm an activist. I do volunteer my time at the Calgary Humane Society, and I'm all for animal rights, because if we don't help them, unfortunately, they don't have a voice of their own. I'm a huge NFL football fan. Steelers since I was 12 years old. I love to watch Sunday football, Thursday football. If NFL's on, I want to watch it. With one exception. Michael Vick has been given another opportunity, and you know what I am about, you do your penance, and if you serve your time, you should have an opportunity to get back out there and live your life, with a few exceptions. So, he did his couple of years for the dogfighting incident, and he kind of put it off to his upbringing and his culture. And his culture, apparently, this is actually, somebody tried to use this argument, it's part of his culture, dogfighting. What are we, living in medieval times? The barbarism of it, of getting dogs, and anyways. He had a pretty bad track record, cruelty to animals, did some unthinkable things to dogs, and all under the thing, the guys, well, hey, it's my upbringing. I grew up around this. It was okay to abuse animals. Now, like I said, I think, if you're repentant about something and you really feel bad, we all deserve a second chance. My problem with Vic, though, is I'm going to post the link for this. It's a video of him talking for a couple of minutes about, how he wants to move on, and he's actually going to be a spokesperson with the Humane Society to sort of, champion animal rights. But you watch him in his little junket, and he's talking about how he's changed and how he didn't know any better, and how, it was one of those unfortunate things that he didn't know what he was doing. And maybe I'm just being too cynical and too hard on the guy. You might watch it back and go, well, no, I do sense some remorse there. I didn't see it. I didn't see any remorse. There was nothing that sort of said, hey, man, I'm really sorry for what happened. Everything is more moving forward. Listen, you know what? It was probably not the right thing to do, and I got caught. And so I'm going to change that behavior because I want to be accepted and I want to be a professional football player and make millions of dollars. So I'm going to put that part of my life behind me. Now I can't really be sorry for what I did because I didn't know any better. And that's what I'm taking from him. There's no real remorse. He did it. The guy was an absolute animal. And I don't say that to disparage animals. I mean, this guy just, the things that he did to dogs, I can't forgive. I can't forgive because I don't feel the remorse from this guy. I don't see it. I don't feel it. And you know what? He gets to continue on with his life under the guise, well, hey, you know what? I really didn't know any better. So, you know, I won't do it again. But I need to keep moving on. And I'll do a few things in the community to try to show people that it's not the right thing to do. I don't know. Your thoughts? Love to hear them. That's kind of my egg today. It's interesting times. Want to thank you for tuning in as always, and I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.